Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good mornings, everybody. Good morning, students. Welcome back to Literary Research, especially for a student of English departments. Okay, so in these first meetings, we would like to discuss about the backgrounds of these lessons and then the objectives of the subjects and then the overview of the materials. So in this first meeting, we would like to clarify, we would like to to clear the grounds about why is it important for the students of English departments, especially the English Education Department, to learn about literary research and its relations to English teachings. Okay, so this is the backgrounds of literary research, for English education students. First, that literary research is aimed for enable student of English education student to understand the meaning of literary works and then bridge the students and the text meanings and to enlive the English teaching with the authentic text and interactions. So why is it important for the student of English educations to study literatures and then to have a research on literatures? The first is that literature itself is a kind of human authentic expressions. Literatures in many forms, such as in poetry, in prose, or in drama, are a kinds of humans' emotional expressions. So, for example, when you make poems, it shows your emotion. It express your emotions, whether the emotions of falling in love, the emotions of sadness, etc. And those kinds of emotions is very authentic. It is the characteristics of a human being. And then the second, literary work itself is a kind of imaginary works, or we call it a fiction. Although it is a fictions, there is no 100% fictions. Fictions is always based on the human experience, based on the social experience. So however, although it is fictions, you can still understand that fictions, because the fictions takes the experience in the real world and then try to manipulate it. For example, when you watch SpongeBob the SquarePants, you still understand about SpongeBob, about the story of SpongeBob, because all of those characters, although you cannot find it in reality, such as SpongeBob, or who are the workers in the one of the Mr. Krabs burgers shop, you cannot find it. Even you cannot find it Mr. Krab as an entrepreneur. You cannot find it. You cannot find the Bikini Bottom, etc. But the characteristics of SpongeBob, who are hard workers, who are unaware of the oppressions, who are still laugh although he was oppressed by the capitalists like Mr. Krabs. You can find it in the reality. Mr. Krabs himself is also the symbolize, also the representative of the capitalists who are kind of accumulating the wealth without considering the prosperity of his workers. And the last, literary work itself is a kind of meaning which is so rich, different from the daily meanings. Yeah? Literary works have connotations and denotations meaning. Denotations meaning is the textual meaning. So for example, when we say kursi in Bahasa Indonesia, it is means in denotations as the place for sittings. Yeah. However, as a connotations, kursi means power. Yeah, means power. For example, in this elections, in this time, we had the elections times where the presidents, new presidents was in power. So lots of people's candidates of the presidents try to find the chairs. The chairs here means the power. And then why is it important for literary works to be used in educations? The first, that literary works is authentic material, whether this is authentic because of the authentic human expressions such as poems, emotionals, expression of experience, etc. And then the second is authentic interactions. Literary works give opportunity for the teacher to have conversations, to converse or to talks about emotions, to talks about the experience, daily experience about love, falling in love, or about death, about griefs, about sadness, etc. easily. Yeah, and that kinds of themes, topics is favorable for the student, and the student know a lot about how to fall in love, how is it feel as breaking down, etc., etc. So literary works can be the means for having authentic interactions with the student. And then the third, literary works can also be used for the critical interpretations. And the ability to have interpretations on literary works is signifying high ability of language. Yeah, because when you can interpret the literary works, it shows that you are capable to find not just the denotative meaning, not just the lexical meaning, but also you are able to find the symbolic meaning, find the connotative meanings. And then next, why is it literary works? Because in educations we need cultural content. As we know that learning language is similar to learning culture, because language itself is a part of the culture. So when you learn English, automatically you will learn the culture. For example, when you learn about, let's say the topic is about introducing yourself. When you introduce yourself, you will talk about your name, your religions, your age, and those kinds of informations are culturals. For example, when you talk about the religion is about a part of the culture. Name itself, for example, when you have a names like John, you have names like Ahmad, etc. Those different names refers to different culture. Ahmad is culture of Islamic culture, yeah, or Arabics, yeah, while John is from Western culture, for example, like that. Okay, and then also about value of behavior. Literally, by studying English through the literary works, you not just have language capability as knowledge or a skill, but you also learns about the value, because we know that as a student, learning is not just about the materials. Learning is also learns not just about the knowledge or the skill, but also about the value. Yeah, and literary works are rich with that kinds of value. And then next, how the literary works can be used in English teaching. The first is by using the language models. So we can use literary works as a language models. For examples, when we teach English for young learner, usually we use what we call as a rhyming song, yeah, rhyming poems, etc. So the song like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, etc. That's a kind of poems. Yeah, that's a kind of poems, but it is very good for teaching English for young learners, because they can sing using English, and unconsciously they will also learn the English itself. Yeah, and then also, for example, you use the story, and the story from literary works. Yeah, once upon a time there lived blah 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 blah. You use that kinds of text as the models for English learning. So giving the example of from the text, yeah, simplified short story, etc., to teach about English. And also you can use the cultural models. In cultural model here, literary works is used for studying English as language, but also as set of culture. Yeah, and the last, literary works can be used in English teaching as the personal growth models. What do you mean by personal model growth? We know that in literary works there are some characters. Yeah, for example, when we read Romeo and Juliet, we can find the characters such as Romeo, Juliet, and then others characters, yeah, that can be used as the role models, that can be used as the case study, yeah, for growing the personality. Yeah, or for another example, such as when you read Shakespeare, for example, or when you read some novels with give you inspiring with all the characters, you can imitate the way characters posing the problem and then solving the problem, etc. Okay, so that is why literary works are still used in English teachings. Yes. In the second, what are the objective of literary research here? The first objective is to be able to identify the problem in literary research correctly, and then after you can identify the problem, you have to formulate it in problem statements, yeah, that is in the right terms, and it can be operationalized. And then after that, you are able to elaborate the paradigms, theory and concept, and then you are able to formulate the theoretical frameworks. And the last is you are able to choose the approach, methods, and techniques in literary research correctly. Okay, so after we know the objectives of these lessons, now we go to the overview of the material. What are we going to do in this semester? So there will be 4 topics that we can cover in this semester. The first the first is identifying the problem, the ability to identifying the problems. To identify the problems, you need to know about the gap, what is the gap, and then the previous research, how to know there are gaps from the previous literary research, and then about the theoretical perspective of the problems, etc. And then after that, you have to be able to formulate the problems. Then also about the theoretical review, you need to know about the paradigm, concept, theory, try to differentiate those concepts, yeah? And then the methodology here, you have to be able to have a research design, approach, method, techniques, and strategy. So all of the topics here represents the steps in literary research, yeah. Okay, the last is about the reference. There are some of the reference that you can use in literary research. Okay, yep, I think that's all for this first meetings and as the introduction. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.